Over the last year, Kia has introduced some cars that Canadians are embracing because their sales continue to go up month after month.
In fact, last season, Zach and I picked the funky Kia Soul as one of our top 10 favorite vehicles. Well, Kia is back with the all-new Sportage. It's longer and wider, but lower than the outgoing model, making it a more useful size. Stylish is a good word to describe this new crossover. The flowing lines and optional oversized wheels almost make this vehicle look like a toy car. It has a bit of a Tonka truck quality to it. It's fun and elegant all at the same time. The Sportage is sold in two trim levels, an LX or EX, and both can be equipped with front wheel or all-wheel drive. Look for a turbo version later to replace the V6 from the older model.
A couple of things about the design of the Sportage that affect drivability, mostly around outward visibility and parking. Now, a lot of compact SUVs in this rear pillar add an extra window. It's gone to make it look more stylish. Plus, the rake of the rear roof makes outward visibility limited out of the quarter panels here. And also, the window in the back, it looks like a good size, but when you look from the inside out, it is rather small. Now, look at the tailgate. Where's the handle? It's not here under the Kia. It's way down at the bottom, and that's going to collect a lot of dirt and grime, especially in the winter with road salt. You can actually see quite a bit of grime underneath the handle here. Now, the overall shape, this really reminds me of the Nissan Rogue. It's kind of rounded in here, but it is a useful size, and I think it'll be practical for many people.
The interior is an absolute pleasant surprise. For just under $22,000, there's a long list of standard features. Now, our test vehicle is the EX all-wheel drive. We've added leather and a couple of options, but regardless of that, the interior has been very well thought out and it looks great. Standard equipment includes air conditioning, remote keyless entry, heated seats, multifunction tilt steering wheel, cruise control, SAT radio, USB, audio with auxiliary input, Bluetooth connectivity, and more.
You know, Lacey, we mentioned it before, Kia and Hyundai, they're very clever. They add standard features that other manufacturers make you pay through the nose for. Heated seats, USB port, they're perfect examples. They throw them in for free, and that's what gets people into dealerships. Now, there's one thing. We talked about the dashboard being well laid out. One exception is the radio display. It is red backlight. It's on an angle. When it catches the sun in bright sunshine, it makes it very hard to read.
I think Kia's taken a bit more of a sportier image, whereas Hyundai's a little bit more elegant. I would say the Tucson's a little bit uptown and the Sportage a little bit downtown, like me. As we mentioned before, there's no longer a V6 being offered, but I gotta be honest, the base unit is a 2.4 liter with 176 horsepower, and it's quite wonderful. It pulls off the line with ease and it cruises with very little effort. The base model can be equipped with a 6-speed manual, and a 6-speed automatic is also available. If you're looking for more power, then I have a feeling that the 4-cylinder turbo is going to be a blast to drive. It's reported to have over 260 horsepower. I have a feeling that this base unit will be more than adequate for most drivers. As mentioned, the two trim levels come with either front wheel or all-wheel drive. The Dynamax all-wheel drive system is not an on-demand system, rather an always-on system that anticipates slippage and can even lock for more grip. This unit provides more traction and improved cornering ability. Because of the high door frame and the small windows, it actually feels like there's a lot less space in here than there really is. As Zach mentioned, there's no window in the back, and because of the sloping A-frame at the front here and the placement of the side mirror, the outward visibility in this thing's not very good.
All right, this Sportage, boy, we've got it kitted out, leather. It's got all the things you could ever want. It's like a luxury car, 2 big moon roofs, all that kind of stuff. Now, we've already talked about the limited visibility out the back. This is especially a problem when you park, but you put the vehicle in reverse, and one thing that would really help to see the curb is to have an auto tilt mirror that lets you look down and see the curb. This doesn't have that, which means you can't see out the back that well. You can't see the curb. That's going to result in scratched wheels. Speaking of the wheels, they do provide a solid platform for handling. There's plenty of grip. body roll is minimal, and the suspension is being tuned for a bit of fun. Where some manufacturers make some very sensible compact SUVs, the Sportage is targeted at a youthful driver who needs some utility but still wants to have handling. All right, there's a couple of things I'd like to see improve. One is sound insulation. I should point out this vehicle does have the larger 18-inch wheels. If you're going to test drive the Sportage, try the smaller wheels out on the road and then the larger wheels to see if there is a noise difference. It could be quieter in my opinion, but the bigger complaint for me is the steering doesn't have an on-center feel, which means it doesn't track down the road in a straight manner. You're always having to adjust the steering wheel. So the vehicle goes to the right a little bit, you got to adjust to the left, but it doesn't go back to center. It continues to go to the left. That means you got to adjust to the right, then to the left, and so on and so on. And after a while, you're like, oh, please just go down the road straight.
Okay, Zach, the question is, do you think that this is a good follow-up from the Soul? I mean, did Kia hit another home run with this new Sportage?
Well, I don't think it's a home run, but it's definitely a solid triple, and there's a lot to like and a few niggly things that they could definitely work on. First of all, the lights. I like the styling. It's a really good-looking vehicle on the outside. The engine, the transmission, and the suspension all work together to provide a solid platform and a little bit of fun. The price is excellent, and of course Kia has that 5-year, 100,000-kilometer warranty that's going to help people get over the anxiety of trying a Kia in the first place. On the downside, there's a few things that I think need to be adjusted. The electric power steering needs to be tweaked so it has some on-center feel. It doesn't track down the road properly, in my opinion. The cup holders are big, but if you have like a Starbucks mug or a Tim Hortons mug in there or a bottle of water, they flop around. And it's noisy. It might just be because it's got the big 18-inch wheels. Try the smaller wheels to start with, but that's definitely an issue. It's kind of noisy, especially when you're on the highway. What do you think about it?
Well, you know what, Zach? I think the interior styling is absolutely beautiful. What I like about it is the fit and finish really give you the impression that you're actually in a vehicle that's worth a lot more money. The engine, I mean, I said it before, but it's fantastic for what it is. And I think it's great that you will actually have a choice of engines down the road so you can get something with a little bit more power if you do decide to get the turbo. And Zach mentioned the price. For the starting price, you get a long list of standard features. Now on the downside, the blind spots are terrible and it really makes the Sportage hard to park. And I agree with Zach on this one. The road noise, especially on the highway, is actually quite unbearable.
All right, so a triple for Kia. That's 3 out of 4 stars. Not bad.
Can't get enough of automotive news and updates? Then visit our website for web-only features. We're at drivingtelevision.com.